What's up, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to take a look at this, the Deluxe Class Titan's Return Perceptor. It is the Autobot scientist dude who just happens to turn into, I don't know, a microscope. Because that's what he do. He make microscope of himself, basically. And I picked this one up. I believe I got it on clearance because that's the only real reason I wanted to grab it. It was a pretty cool figure. The Titan's Return line never really wowed me that much. But figured he's worth getting. He's done really well in all his G1 colors. So you've got the teal kind of color here, cyan color, the red for the main body. He's got his big telescope cannon shoulder thing happening on there. Big old gun, stuff like that. But we can look at the packaging real quick. You've got the obligatory head coming off or going on there because for some reason they made everybody a friggin' headmaster. Sorry, Titan's master. And clear shell here. A little bit of his alt mode there along with his tiny friend. Transformers logo there. Generations logo there. Come to the back. With the Decepticons rising, Autobots power up with Titan Master partners to stop them. That's what it always says. Convex gives Perceptor the ability to shrink to microscopic size. He can repair or sabotage systems on a micro level. He just has to do it before he returns to full size. That's actually kind of cool. He's Ant-Man. That's what he is. And, of course, you've got the, hey, it switches in 13 steps. His little dude goes over here in one step. Literally, you unfold him. You got all the different sizes, stuff like that. You got the other things in here. So you got Repugnus, which was just a Headmaster or a Titan Master at one point. But actually is getting its own figure. That's pretty cool. Finally doing one. And you got Sergeant Cup, which meh. I never liked this version. You got Broadside, and you've got Sky Shadow, who is just actually a different version for Overlord. So yay for that. Packaging goes away. No one cares. Also, you do get the instructions, although I don't have them anymore. Oddly enough, I think I threw them away. But you do get the character card, because you always get the character card. Nice artwork on here, if I'm totally honest. I will never fault them for the nice box art, stuff like that. Titan's Return Perceptor. Actually, like this artwork better than the new stuff for Power of the Primes. And you've got the tech specs and stuff like that. So Perceptor by himself, it's just a whole lot of nothing. He's slow as all get out, not super strong. Fairly well intelligent, though he should probably be a little bit higher, if I'm honest. And then ballistic power is okay, but he gets a little stronger. He definitely gets smarter as gaining his Headmaster. Sorry, Titan Master. Good lord. Okay, so as we've already looked at him briefly, you do get his face sculpt right there. Move that out of the way so you can see a little bit better. Got some silver in there with some yellow painted eyes. Kind of hard to tell. Clear chest with painted silver bits on it. Silver paint right here with the Autobot Tampographed logo right there. Black paint around the crotch on top of all what it is really not great feeling like McDonald's plastic. I'm not really sure about that. All the teal plastic before, red plastic, some black paint down here for tank treads. Wait, why does he need tank treads? He's a microscope. I don't know. Why? You actually do get some silver paint right here, along with some green paint right in there and a vent of some sort. I don't know what that's all about. You got silver paint here for his knobs on the back of the arm. Very G1-esque. He's got a little clear wheel back here on the butt. Hey, why does he need a wheel? He's a microscope. I don't know. You do get the fact that this is an actual, like, clear microscopy thing. It does actually magnify to some degree, although you can't see anything through it. You can see the dot, and you can see how it changes. That's cool that they kept that ability in there. You also get incredibly hollow forearms because of Titan's Return. Basically, is what it comes down to. Now, I do have the G1 handy that my buddy loaned me like a long time ago and is yet to come back and get. By the way, the big sniper rifle slash Titan Master riding device. It is there. I'm trying to get him to stand. He does not have heel spurs, really. He's just got these. And sometimes he just doesn't want to stand up. You gotta lean him forward just a little. But here's our G1 Perceptor. You can tell the old one is definitely more bricky, and the head is very, very different. But aesthetic-wise, they nailed it on the new one. They really, really did. Now, unfortunately, because this thing is so old, I have to be incredibly careful with it. It did break on me during the original review, for those who are watching. Okay, I just wanted to see if he still had the thing there. So he probably had an Autobot logo back in the day that would have been right here, but probably came off God knows how long ago with the real die cast and stuff like that in this guy, whereas this one, not so much. Now, if I can do the comparisons with the with this one, I will, because I remember this hand totally stuck, doesn't want to come out. I'm not going to fight it. I remember this or that shoulder is totally broken, so I have to be very, very careful. You do get the stickers here for the microscope stuff. You don't get that here. Like I said, you get the faint nod at the knobs on the hand. The head sculpt is reminiscent, but not even remotely the same, although this is more Perceptor in the show. This is obviously toy Perceptor mode. And you get the tank treads on the inside of the knees, or legs, I should say. Same as that. You get a lot of similar deco, you know, just inspired by, although this is like all tampoed on, this is an actual sticker. And yes, you get hit wheels here, whereas you don't get any wheels on the back of his legs over there. Get out of the way, please, Mr. G1. G1 Scepter. As for further comparisons, here's our buddy Wally. So you can see for size, he's only up to his knees. Have the Lord of the Thundercats. He's clearly very tiny in comparison. Comparing him to one of his own figures. You got him with Hardhead. You can see Hardhead is a little bit bigger, but he is also a tank. But he's got proper tank. This is still one of my favorite molds. And of course I did the painting and weathering on him. And it still feels a little grimy if I'm totally honest. And I have had to fix his head. Just bringing that up, you can see the crack right across there. I've had to fix that a couple times. The panel line marker actually just completely ate and shattered his head. So we'll just let that be forever. Probably the last time I'll paint a Transformers figure. Now we can compare him to a Titan's Return Legends. Couldn't think of the word. Legends class. So little bitty Sith Bray. Sith Bray is about that big. It's pretty cool because he's pretty much a mini bot anyways. And comparing him to one of the only leaders we've got, not from Titan's Return, but from Power to Prime. And you got big old Prime. Though I don't recall that big of a height difference. And in the series, there's definitely not that big a height difference, but that's also the difference between this version of Prime and the Titan's Return version of Prime. Which, by the way, this is still a really good figure. Nemesis Prime coming out too. Doubt I'll pick that one up though. Yeah, he fell over. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this guy transformed up, because he is a Transformer. Go ahead and pull this back, just to get it out of the way. This whole mechanism is on a sliding rail right there, so you have to be very careful when moving it over. So we're just going to go ahead and scoochy McScootchers in here. Just kind of slide it. You can definitely oil that or something. You can definitely put something there to help slide that. I know a few people have. You grab the head, which is actually stuck fairly well on this guy. That one actually does peg in very, very well. I am slightly concerned that it will break eventually. So that already self-transformed itself. Anyways, so grab the hands, flip them in, straighten out the arms, just line them all up, rotate like so. No, I'm sorry, don't rotate like so. Just pull up. Why am I having a difficult time here? Oh, hold on. I do that every time. I think it goes up and it doesn't. It rotates and it goes down. So rotate like so and tuck everybody down like so. Now you want to come down to the legs and just make them do splits. I didn't do articulation because you're going to see all the articulation in transformation. So put him up like so, where he's got his, you know, rotate here. Turn at the knee. Now you've got a tab right there that will go into a corresponding hole right there at the top of the arm. So tab that right back in as best you can, like so. Do the same thing on the other side, and tab that in. Come up here, flip these parts forward. There's a little bit of a notch there as it clears the toes. Straighten that out. Straighten that out, and you can see a lot more of these tank tread things kind of popping out here. And you have an L for the L side, and you have a backwards L for the backwards L side. Now you come down here, and you just go ahead and pop all of this down the Autobot logo section will drop down. And this is a point of contention, at least instruction-y. In the instructions, you pull all this down just on this kind of double hinge, and you have the tray laying like so. And you can also do, this is something totally unrelated. Then you pull this, and there's your microscope mode. However, you can also just go ahead and unhinge all of this, like so, and have it laying completely flat, like that, which I guess helps if I lower the camera. So I think it's kind of a personal preference situation, because in a potentially separate alt mode, maybe, if that's a thing, you can manipulate a little bit more. Now, the head, or Titan Master, can totally unfold, and this is where he has a little bit more play. Well, it is sculpted very nice, and actually the head looks very much like G1 Perceptor right there. Really hard to tell, but there's no paint, there's no nothing. Actually, even the legs are totally G1 Perceptor, so that's pretty cool. They actually tried to capture a little bit of what he looked like. But you can use the Titan Master pegs like that, or you can do what a lot of them want to do, and you just lay him down in the tray, and you turn the microscope down at him, and you can examine the little guy. And actually there is notches there, so you can literally notch him in place a little bit. It's not perfect, but it'll do it. Now the rifle that we got before, this big old sniper rifle, I tend to just put back here on the back. He has a good peg hole right there on the back, and that kind of hides it in alt mode, and plus it just gives it somewhere to go. This guy could easily have a base mode based off of this, which is kind of what Titan's Return always did. Everybody gets a base mode! Yay! In this mode, he doesn't really roll, doesn't do anything. So, there's your microscope mode. I'm going to see if I can get the G1 version into his microscope mode real quick, maybe. And there we go. Now, he's definitely a bit wonkier. And this thing, I forgot how much of a Rubik's Cube it is for the legs. And he doesn't really want to sit very nicely. So you're going to have to play with it a little. But you can see this very much captures this, even to this part being molded very, very much like that over there. Looks pretty cool. You can even throw your Titan's Master right in there. You do get the microscope that does move in and out, though I prefer that this one has the chrome. I like that the arms and stuff still do it, except this one just rotates up and slides in, which is a cool gimmick. The legs on this are so much better than the ones on this, because, like I said, this is like a Rubik's Cube. Rotate this, flip this up, rotate this, flip this, turn this, flip this, and then the slide-out extensions for the feet. But you can see where they're trying to imitate this as best they can, though they leave the backside really kind of nothing. So you still get the wheels in the butt. That's kind of cool. But you do get this, which is all just very unfortunate. Not a lot going on there. So this guy, he is very, very floppy at this point. And for comparison, there's Wally. There's Schnarfy Schnarf. And you still get Sea Spray. I'm not going to bother comparing size-wise to vehicles, because he's not a vehicle, so it's kind of silly to do that, in my opinion. Now, as for the reason he has tank treads and stuff, this boy supposedly has a third hidden mode, which we're kind of there. I mean, there's not a ton different. However, you get these tabs over here. So really, you want to flip the legs around and try to tab those tabs back into the arms at that angle. I don't know why that was actually surprisingly difficult, but come on. Because you have to rotate and rotate and turn and rotate again. And there's no instructions for this. This is kind of a you figure it out on your own situation. But that's kind of it. this is what most people consider just a straight up tank mode. You just turn that around, you expose the tank treads. The microscope part definitely becomes the cannon. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about this part. You flip that up, and honestly, it's like the back of a chair. But here's the problem with this. The way they designed this, because they were trying to make it to where a Titan Master can use this. You can even look on the inside of his chest. There's definitely what appears to be targeting reticles and stuff like that. Like you're looking through the cannon, or looking through the aiming ability of the cannon. But this seat is clearly meant for a Titan Master to sit this way, more or less. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but that's kind of how you have them. Now this also is where you can try to use this extension and see if that does anything for you, but in my opinion it doesn't make no difference. So I don't know. And once again, I don't understand why that particular part does that. But it do. But I mean, even if you have your Titan Master sitting like this, where his feet are plugged into the bottom of that, and he's aimed this way, and then you knock the feet out entirely from underneath him. Which, once again, these pegs are not the greatest thing in the world for securing anybody. Would not let that rest. So I guess if you're thinking he's shooting that way, I guess, and then you add the cannon, like if you want to do it more like a mortar or something, I don't know. I mean, like I said, this is kind of a fan mode slash callback to what the G1 actually did do, which I believe is actually a diaclone thing in the first place. It's obviously because Perceptor never turned into a tank in any way, shape, or form. Not really anyways, so, I mean, if it's supposed to be like this, fine. But as for turning and facing that way, that is really, really dumb. And you can actually, and I didn't mention this, you can totally remove the microscope part and reposition it in different places if you wanted to. So you could plug it here, you could plug the cannon, or the sniper rifle over here. You can, in fact, plug it up like this and stuff if you really want to. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Hold on. This is the official mode. I forgot. So you can see right here, there's a little thingy. There's a tab right there. So this is, in fact, I apologize, this is the way the tank mode is supposed to be. This is dumb, because the Titan Master doesn't even face the right direction. So, kill everything over there, but I'm not actually going to be looking at the thing. I don't know. Let me see if I can get the original into tank mode. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. So, I mean, I guess it is the same, but like I said, in this case, you wouldn't sit there and do it. You would sit over here. I don't know. So I seem to be having problems. I don't know what this particular thingy right here, but to me, they'd be sitting here shooting that way. That's just me. Maybe, I don't know. Put the seat there. I mean, you didn't have headmasters and stuff for this guy, so I guess it is what it is. I like they at least reference it. They give it his tank mode, even though it's entirely unnecessary. But I guess it's fun. It's a little kid toy thing. I don't know. Yep. Alright, guys, so realistically, I like this guy. I think he's pretty cool. He's mildly limited. The articulation is a little funny. I mean, look at the knee. Look at the huge gap there. Not only here, but the actual behind the knee. If you can get him on sale, you get him on clearance, definitely worth it. And if you have watched the Prime Wars trilogy, or at least a couple parts of it, like I've seen the actual Titans Return, I've seen Power of the Primes, he plays a major role throughout the whole thing, basically being an exposition dump or a scientist type person, although he was fairly useless in Power of the Primes, if I'm honest, but hey, he made it through there. And as a fairly faithful G1 recreation, I mean, it's a very good figure. I mean, that's actually a pretty good pose right there. Let's get that as a shot. Cool. Whatever you like about Titans Return line, whatever Power of the Primes line, I think it's pretty decent. The plastic could probably be a little bit better, and honestly, the deluxe prices probably need to come down just a hair. So like I said, if you catch them on clearance, fine, go right ahead. I think there was a Takara version. I don't know what the differences would have been, except maybe color, maybe some detail, stuff like that. But otherwise, he's cool, and you could totally pick up, I think, some repro labels to make him look a little more G1 accurate, like a big Autobot logo, like right there, something like that. But I dig it. If you dig it, give me a thumbs up on this video. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, because I put out fun, nerdy content like this all the time. This has been a little while since I've done a Transformers review, but I've got a few to go through at the moment. And of course, if you want to help out the channel a little bit, go check out the Patreon at patreon.com/ShokyReviews. If you really want to go do that for about $5 a month, you can totally help support the channel. And I'm looking for about $200 a month to help offset some of the cost of doing business around here. This is actually kind of cool. So you get Perceptor playing with Perceptor. There we go. That's also a cool photo. Nice. But if you can get a Shoky shirt, you see a bunch of them right here on the screen and a description down below. And here in a couple months, I will definitely have a new one coming out for a certain thing I may or may not do every single year. But that's going to be it, guys, for the Titans Return Deluxe Class Perceptor review. And guys, remember, as always, to keep on nerding.